Om. Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Yo antah pravishya mama vachamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatya khila shakti dharasvadhamna अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् समचरणसरोजम् सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभम् जघननिहितपाणिम् मण्डनम् मण्डनानाम् तरुणतुलसीमालाम् गन्धरम् गञ्जनेत्रम् सदयधवलहासम् विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We are in chapter 21. We have finished first 95 Ovis. Tonight we start from 96. The time which is really beneficial for religious actions or penance will be told now. 97. The time of 3 hours before sunrise is naturally very conducive to regular penance or study. 98. Now I will tell you the impure time and place when no good deeds should be started. 99. The time and place in which materials useful for religious performances are not available should be avoided as unfit. 100. The 10 days after childbirth or death, or the time of national calamity, when there is physical infirmity, are not good for religious ceremonies. 101. The times of famine, epidemic, or of any disease, the time when many robberies are taking place, etc., are not suitable for undertaking religious functions. 102. When the householder is very angry, lazy, sleepy, dull, disinterested, that time is also not suitable for performing any religious ceremonies. 103. Time when the man is disturbed either by sudden gain of tremendous wealth or he hears unexpected bad news or when good pious persons are not properly respected. That also is not suitable for such good activities. 104. While one travels, there is some calamity or accident or there is danger to life, that is also inauspicious time. 105. When the householder or the performer of ceremony is disturbed by great craving for money, or when he is desperate, dejected, depressed, or anguished, or his mind is doubtful about his intended function, he should not undertake it. 106. Thus, I have told you the time which is unsuitable for religious ceremonies. Now I shall tell you the analysis of purity and impurity of substances. द्रव्यस्य शुद्ध्य शुद्धि च द्रव्येण वचनेन च संस्कारेणाथ कालेन महत्वाल्पतयाथवा. Meaning of the verse: the purity or impurity of any material is decided by purifying substances, by declaration, by proper authentic persons, by treatment, by lapse of time, and by the quantity, either great or less, of the article concerned. 107. If a man takes the urine of a cow, he immediately supposed to be purified. But if a copper pot is used to hold that urine while drinking, that becomes impure. 108. If a man sprinkles little water on the flowers become fresh and pure. But if he smells the flowers, they are considered useless for worship of God. 109. If a Brahmin worships fire, the Brahmin becomes pure. But if sacred fire is used to burn the dead body of a Brahmin, that fire becomes impure. 110. If the rice ball, pinda, is kept on the sacred grass, darbha, that pinda is pure. But by chance, the darbha touched the pindas in a wrong way, that grass sticks, darbha, become impure. The science of religion decides, according to the Vedas, the purity of otherwise of materials in such strange way. 111. When any substance is not definitely known to be pure, a good pious Brahmin should be asked about it and his decision should be taken as right, because any thoughtful judgment by a good Brahmin is honored even by gods. OV 112. By using a little ghee, the food is made pure. The new grains are purified by performing a sacrifice of fire. And the science says that salt, when slightly heated, becomes pure. 113. When the letter Ra is uttered by adding Ma to it, the name becomes 114 Rama. When which purifies the mind. But if after Ma the letter Dya is added, it becomes Madhya and it becomes a sin. 115. The woman in menses becomes pure on the fourth day by bath. The rainwater becomes pure by keeping it for 3 days. The impurity of the 10 days after birth in the house or the death in the family is wiped out by the bath on the 10th day. The time factor is related to purity. 116. Yesterday's food is stale today, so it becomes unfit for eating. Some food articles become stale and unwholesome even within some hours, and they also become unfit for eating. 117. The food which is fried in pure ghee, however, remains eatable for some days. The food which gets sour and gives a bad smell is immediately unfit. 118. If a dirty man touches a small amount of water stored in a pot in the house, it is totally unfit for use. 119. But if there is a big body of water like a large pond or continuous flowing water of any brook, it does not become impure even if a dirty man touches it, a chandal or such a low caste man. 120. If there is a small amount of cooked food and if a dog or a crow touches it, the whole food should be thrown away because it is contaminated. 121. If, however, there is a large quantity of food prepared for thousands of persons and if it is touched by dog or a crow or any dirty animal, the part which is touched by the mouth of that animal should be taken out and thrown away, and the whole remaining quantity of food is considered pure. शक्त्या बुद्ध्या समृद्ध्या च यदात्मने अघं कुर्वन्ति यथा देशावस्था अघं कुर्वन्ति यथा deshavasthanusarataha. Meaning of the verse. By physical fitness or otherwise, or by knowledge and the affluent circumstances or otherwise of the person concerned, the impurity or otherwise is decided. The sin which is agencies of pollution bring to the soul really do so only according to the local conditions and other circumstances of the individual concerned. OB 122. If there is a moon eclipse or a sun eclipse, a healthy man must bathe after the eclipse is over. Otherwise, he is impure. But if there are children, old people, or ill person, they should not bathe. 123. If there is a child born in a house, the direct brothers and relatives have to observe untouchability. 124. But if the child is born in some other town, and if the relatives come to know about that birth after 10 days of the birth, they need not observe the untouchability. 125. Sometimes it so happens that one person dies today, another relative dies tomorrow, then the segregatory period of 10 days from today is insufficient for both the deaths. 126. If a man is poisoned, that poison is removed from his body by snake bite. The same is the case with the period of these 10 days. 127. The sins or merits or actions done intentionally have to be suffered. There is no escape from the result. But actions which happen unaware are not producing any sins or merits and no bondage. 128. Self-knowledge purifies the consciousness. This is effected by Viveka and Vikrati. Viveka and Virakti, awareness and desirelessness. 129. If a rich man wears dirty, torn, or repaired clothes, it is impure for him. 130. But a poor man may use such cloth. He is not to be blamed for it. This is very thoughtful provision in our scriptures. 131. If a rich man takes dinner alone, it is to be classified as an unworthy action. The food is not pure, but if a poor man eats it alone, it is very good for him. 132. It is like eating sin if a person takes meal without offering oblations to the 5 recipients of his food. If a guest is turned away without giving him anything, it is like losing all a spiritual merit. 133. When we live in our house, in our town, the daily routines of ritual, bath, taking the name of God, etc., should be fully performed. If we go to other town or village, half of the rituals may be observed. If we go to a big busy city, only one-fourth of the daily performance of penance, rituals, worship, etc. may be observed. And if we're traveling in the company of other person, we should follow what all of them are doing. We should not insist on performing all our routine. 134. This arrangement is fixed by the science of religion after considering the conditions of the places and the time. If any other way of performing daily routine is followed, that person will be a sinner. 135. When there is good strength and ability, a man should not avoid this duty. If he avoids, it is a sin. Similarly, if one performs this routine when he is having fever or any malady, again in that case also, he is blameworthy. 136. To now the purity or impurity of things, articles, etc., according to the religious science is told. Now further information is being given by Lord Shri Krishna. धान्यदार्वस्थितन्तूनां रसतैजसचर्मणां कालवैवग्न्यमृत्तोयैः Arthimanaayutayutaihi. Meaning of the verse. The purity of food, grains, articles of woods, bones such as ivory, and textiles, substances like milk, ghee, and honey, metals, hides and skin, and earthen pots, etc., is done by passage of time, by air, by fire, by water, and with earth and water jointly. 137. If something is given to us by low caste person, Shudra, such as food, grains, or any dry articles, they are considered pure after one night. The wooden articles like special ladles, etc., are cleaned by water. 138. The nails of a tiger and ivory are impure, so long as they are wet, but they are pure when they are dried. 139. Silken threads are always pure. Woolen threads become pure by dry air, and cotton threads become pure by properly washed in flour. 144. Cow's milk is pure if kept in earthen pot or bronze pot, but it becomes unwholesome if kept in a copper pot. Sour things like tamarind are used to cleanse the copper articles, and by salt, the sour food articles are purified. 141. Ghee becomes pure by use of heat process. Fire becomes sacred by the mantras recited by Brahmins. Brahmins remain pure by his performance of daily religious duties, and religious rituals become pure if accompanied by Vedic mantras. 142. Veda becomes pure when uttered by the Guru, while Guru himself remains sacred by his state of self-bliss. Jiva becomes pure by water which is touched by the toe of the Guru, and water becomes sacred when touched by the feet of Brahmins with proper precision. 143. The ground becomes pure by sweeping and sprinkling of water. Water in a well or a lake is pure. Hide becomes unusable by oil. This hide becomes usable by oil. And oil is considered pure when kept in any pot of skin. It becomes usable by hide. 144. The tiger or the deer skins are considered pure when properly processed. Gold is purified by fire. 145. In this way, the method of cleansing of purifying various articles is given in the books of Smriti. Now, when things are dirtied and are required to be cleansed, the method is given as follows. अमेध्यलिप्तयद्येन गन्धल्लेपं व्यपोहति भजते प्रकृतिं तस्य तच्छौचन्तावदिष्यते. Meaning of the verse. That by recourse to which an article such as stool, household utensils, etc., smeared with an impure substance, sheds its foul smell and coating and returns to its natural state, is considered to be its purifying agent. 146. There may be a utensil or a wooden furniture or any chair, etc., which is smeared by dirty foul thing. It should be washed completely till the foul smell disappears. 147. If the body of a person below his navel is made dirty, it should be washed by cleansing agent till and bad smell and dirt are washed completely. 148. If the dirty article is smeared on the body above the navel, the man should take bath and wash his body with clay, earth, etc. till the dirt disappears. 149. Dirty things can be washed easily, but the bad smell remains. That should be completely washed out. Then only the body is supposed to be clean. 150. The Vedas have laid down such instructions for articles to be clean from outside. Now I shall tell you what action is to be taken for purification of the inner consciousness of a person. स्नानदान तपोवस्था वीर्य संस्कार कर्मभिः मत्स्मृत्या चात्मनः शौचम शुद्धः कर्माचरे द्विजः. Meaning of the verse. Brahmin should keep himself clean inwardly and outwardly by bath, charity, penance, faith in me, actions of religious rituals, and remembering my name. 151. In the childhood, from Garbhadhana to the first feeding by ordinary food should be done. In the Kumara state, Chaula ceremony is done, and by thread ceremony, the boy is considered to be Brahmin. 152. To qualify oneself for any religious performance, bathing is necessary. When some money is given in charity, the remaining money with us becomes pure. In order to develop desirelessness, and if there is laziness, we should by effort shed it and start some activity. 153. When a mind is fixed and faithful in devotion of God, it is called the cleaning of mental force, and by constant remembering of my name, the mind is purified. 154. Brahmins who are wise are, according to the instructions of Vedas, expected to do these things for self-purification. Mantrasya cha parijnanam karma shuddhirmadarpanam dharma sampadyate shadbhihi adharmastu viparyayaha. Meaning of the verse. The purity of a mantra is brought about by knowing its meaning properly. And when karma is offered to me, it becomes pure. Religious merit is acquired through the above factors, while the reverse, their impurity, makes for unrighteousness. 155. Mantra becomes pure when its meaning is understood. Karma becomes pure by offering it to Brahman. There are 6 factors for the actor to be pure as laid down by Veda. 156. They are place, time, material, mantra, karma, and the health of the actor. When these are right, the action becomes fruitful. 157. The purity of money, only that money which is given to destitute, poor people in their difficulty, or given to my devotee is pure. 158. Money is earned by our own efforts is pure. Money acquired through greed is not pure. 159. Mantra is pure when the meaning of it is understood. 160. When pride increases by receiving and reciting a mantra, and when there is intention to control or kill or injure somebody in the recitation, that is impure. 161. The karma by which the bondage, the attachment to things, etc. is cut, that karma is very pure. 162. When the pride of the body increases in the performance of a karma and the bondage of the actor increases, that karma is impure. 163. Some karma, when performed, destroys all the bondage of the karma itself. That is a pure action. Odhava, the place where people are of pious mind, is a good place. 164. One may live in a sacred place, but if the defects, etc., of others are being seen by people, then that sacred place is also tamas. There, the actor is doomed. 165. If a person is in the habit of finding faults in others while he is living in an ordinary place, this sin is washed when he lives in a sacred place. But if he finds fault in others in the sacred place also, the jivas are always burdened with those defects. 166. When there is a sense of unity among people in a particular place, that is good place. And for a sadhaka, the time when he is cheerful should be taken as a good time. 167. The 3 hours of dawn are naturally pure, but if the mind is disturbed even at that time, it is not conducive time for good penance. 168. An actor is pure when he has no pride and performs the actions easily and naturally. 169. The actor who thinks himself proudly to be the actor, the doer is found. Because of the pride of body by which the actor acts, he becomes impure. 170. These are 6 factors of proper and improper nature of the actor, the place, time, etc. When a person acts according to the dharma, having proper time, place, mentality, mood, etc., he becomes free. And when he acts contrary to this, he becomes impure and bound, attached to karma. 171. So in this way, the signs of proper and improper nature of things are very complex, and many deep thinkers are also perplexed in deciding what is right. क्वचित् गुणोऽपि दोषस्यात् दोषोऽपि विधिना गुणः गुणदोषार्थनियमः तद्भिदामेव बाधते. Meaning of the verse. In some cases, even a virtue turns out to be fault, and vice versa in the light of the scriptural ordinance. In this way, that ordinance determines goodness or otherwise of a particular object, and each at the root of the distinction of good and bad, etc. 172. Sometimes a virtue in the case of a person becomes a vice, while in the case of another person, thus the action itself creates great defect in itself. 173. Achamanam is purifying action when done properly, but if it is done while sitting with our face at the south, that achaman creates fault. 174. If a medicine which is good to relieve pain in the ear is put in our mouth, the same becomes troublesome and even may lead to death. 175. While doing achaman, if water is taken in small proportion, it is purifying act. But if more water is taken, that amounts to taking a wine. 176. Jackfruit contains beans with sweet cover, but if it is eaten more, it creates tremendous pain in the intestines. 177. To worship the sun is meritorious, but if a leaf of the bee is offered to sun god, that worship is spoiled and becomes sinful. If a leaf of the bee 178. In this way, action itself is good or bad by the slight difference. Merit is one case, becomes fault in other case, and vice versa. 179. For example, suppose a Brahmin is about to take bath near a well on the road, where it is possible that he will be robbed of his clothes, etc. To stop that Brahmin is not bad. To take him to some other place is a good act. 180. Suppose a Brahmin is about to drink water which you know to be poison. You must whisk away the pot. It is good act. 181. To maintain the sacred fire is a merit for a householder, but for a sannyasi it is a fault. To recite Vedas is virtue for a Brahmin, but a wrong act for a Shudra. 182. In the Vedas, such rules are made in order that people should slowly give up the selfish acts. But people are confused because they do not see the intention of the Vedas. 183. Just as in the dark night, the little light of fireflies shines, so while there is ignorance, the consideration of right or wrong action becomes very important. 184. So, there is definite fall from the path of spirituality if we make much fuss about what is default and what is right. The Lord is telling this further. Samana karma charanam patitanannapatakam outpattiko gunasangaha nashayana patatyadhaha. Meaning of the verse. In the case of those already fallen in morals, actions which is sinful for others not so fallen is not further degrading. Similarly, for a householder, permitted intercourse with his wife is virtue, though for a bachelor or a sannyasi it is a sin. A person already lying on the ground has no danger of a further fall. 185. The low caste persons are already regularly doing wrong things. For them, drinking wine or doing others so-called bad deeds is not considered further sins. 186. If a cloth is dipped in black color, it cannot be further blemished by any dark color. If darkness is smeared by ink, what is going to happen? 187. Similarly, one who is born in Chandala caste cannot have any blemish or dirt. Dark ointment cannot be darkened further by soot. 188. If an inanimate thing is poison, what suffering can it have? Similarly, how can a confirmed sinner commit more sin? 189. One who is lying on low ground has no danger of falling further. Similarly, a man who is very proud of his physical body is already doomed. What further fall can he suffer from? 192. A man who is slave to sensual pleasures because of rajas and tamas in his character will not suffer more from the attachment to his body by eating such small things as toffee, chocolates, etc. 191. One who takes an intoxicating drug and dances in the frenzy is not aware whether his cash kept in his clothes is lost or fallen. 192. Similarly, one who is under the influence of pride of his body and prey to passion for sex does not know what a great loss of his own welfare he has suffered. 193. It is said that a man who is suffering from poisoning is asked to eat excreta of a swine. Similarly, for the mad addicts of sex, I through Vedas have put down the limit of having sex only with one's wife. 194. This is because wise people say that an excreta of a swine is a medicine for a poisoned man. It does not mean that the excreta is regular food. 195. So, Long as there are male and female sexes in the nature, enjoyment cannot be prevented. But in order to curtail uncontrolled passion, this rule of married life is imposed. I think we'll stop at 195 for today. Wow. Much needed thing, no? So many do's and don'ts, and with such clarity it has come. Who has to do what, birth, death, which we call sutta, all that, and why we need to follow, what things make pure. So again, in our Gita, the last 3, 4 chapters, it has been said, yatayamang gatarasam puti paryushitan chayat. Right? So 3 hours of food is actually one yama, and that's impure. So beautiful rules. And one thing was there, our all classes started in COVID. So over there, one point had come, no, that when there is calamity, we shouldn't. But that time, these online classes are not there. That time, a satsang means you're physically going. So this physical going is to be avoided. So that I wanted to say when I was reading over there. And then 2, 3 places I paused. Those pauses I have not understood. So probably that leaf of B or something is written. And hide is some word. 2 times it came the word hide. What is hide or hide? Have I mispronounced it? I don't know. So I'll have to go back to it. Like in 143, hide becomes usable by oil.
Is
So what?
hide means skin or something?
Oh, it's that,
Like
huh? So, and
in
before that, it came also one. Okay. So those 2, 3 places where I paused, I didn't understand, but I continued to read. And this eclipse thing again, we found, see, during eclipse not to eat or keep the gods submerged under the water and continue chanting or take bath after the eclipse, with some of the things which we even practice now. And of course, giving food to others and then eating, we practice even now whenever it is possible. We don't pets, old people, we do that even now. So it is being passed on to us through tradition. This is what I'm saying. It's not that we do it is out of pride because it was told by our parents we are doing. So it is our duty that we tell it to the younger. This is to be done and this is not to be done. Certain rules are laid. And yeah, getting up at Brahma Muhurta again has come over here. It started with that. And I like how those few examples were there where what is purified by what. Ghee is purified by fire. This is purified by water. This you have to keep the food overnight if and then you have in some cases it was like that. So those series of how to purify that is also told. So that also I liked. Good. So I think this was one of the precious chapters that we will have to mark and keep these OVs in chapter 21. The first 100, 200 verses are telling the do's and don'ts and pure and impurities and how to purify. Anybody wants to add? Mm.
just wanted to say that this is an SOP, standard operating procedure for our for us. And then I think that Sutaka where there is an immediate death, so it's very clearly explained that at 10 days, even if there are 2 days, you don't have to actually observe 20 days. You just because I think the Lord doesn't want his people to be away from him for doing the puja is what I can think about. That could be one of the reasons. Plus, it is bringing about a lot of difficulty also to the people. So probably they must have thought that way as well. Is what I can think about.
Yes. And also, no, and the Sutaka time, a lot of purification happens, chanting happens, mind cleanses. So the
Yes.
person has to stay secluded and not just go out about it. So purpose and intention of Sutaka is self-purification only. So purpose is such, it doesn't make sense to carry another 10 days addition for that. It comes along with that. Hmm.
Yeah, I like this point in OV 172. Sometimes a virtue in case of a person becomes a vice in case of another person, and that action itself creates defect. For example, if a medicine which is good to relieve pain in the ear is put in our mouth, the same becomes troublesome and even may lead to death. So these examples were very good actually.
Yes,
Jackfruit
even that
contains
jackfruit.
beans with sweet cover, and if it is eaten more, causes pains in the intestines. So
Yeah.
it was spoken about the time,
Moderation.
moderation, and the time, place, all depends on whether it is pure or impure, depends on these situations. And for offering the sun, it was some leaf of the bee, right?
Uh-huh.
No, I think
I
I
didn't
think
understand. So I was just thinking that sun god nourishes the plant through leaves. So does he mean that we should not pluck the green leaves and offer to him?
I think only water is offered. Arghya is offered to
Correct.
sun.
So sun god leaf shouldn't be offered, maybe in that sense, because it's like for the sun god, we shouldn't offer leaves because he is the one who nourishes. So we shouldn't do in a reverse kind of. I mean, I just guessed it. I am not sure about it.
Even I'm not sure. And what leaf, because what is bee means or bay or
It becomes sinful is what it says because the leaf may
was it
not
a
like it.
bilva patra? Was it a bale and L is missed? I don't know.
Correct. Some specific type of leaf. Maybe.
put in inverted commas. So probably I think Varshaji can go back to the Marathi OV there. Probably something would have been written.
Maybe
Yes.
some language, correct. Yeah.
Okay. So tomorrow we don't have a session and we'll meet on Monday. I'm traveling tomorrow. Can do it in between travel, but it's okay. Nikhilaji said it's okay.
So I thought we'll get more insights, Varshaji, more like
So
you would
we'll
have
wait. So
more
we'll start.
points.
We'll do it next Monday. Mhm.
Actually, I'm also
Oh,
traveling. So
oh, good. So it was for you. That means the thought has come like this. Yeah, see, Bhagwan takes care. Those who are for regular, Bhagwan really takes care. Okay. So now let's end today's session and then we meet next Monday. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurupto Namaha Harihi Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Hari Om everyone. Thank you for joining. See you all on Monday.
Thank you, Varshaji.
Thank
Hari
you.
Om.
Hari Om.